So welcome guys to today's video. Okay, so I have the video here today for my finished pages for April, March and February. I didn't do a video in the other month because I only finished one page, and that was because my health situation is very bad at the moment. That's also why I haven't uploaded a lot of videos. I'm really sorry about that. I got a call this week from my neurologist. They could make my new therapy earlier. So I got my first infusion this week, and it's triple the dose I got in the last test. So I really hope that works well for me. I'm really sorry I have a cold at the moment. That's why I sound so funny. Yeah, so in the end of last year, we did a test with this new medication, and it was really good, but it didn't last the whole 3 months. So my neurologist, ended it, but then my situation got, like I said, really, really bad, and I have like over 50% of the time I'm on bed rest because the migraine is so bad that I can't leave the bed, which of course is a very problematic with life quality and doing things like coloring. So I did call her, and yeah, she said, let's do another trial with triple the dose. So I really hope that in the future that works well. But what I wanted to say with all that rambling is basically that I realized that a lot of the reasons why I don't get a lot of coloring done when I'm feeling that bad is the problematic that I can't sit. And I do a lot, of course, with watercolors because I love watercolors. I do have a lot of watercolor coloring books and coloring pages. I do love to base layer with watercolors or do backgrounds with them. So that I don't work with water tank brushes. I love to use genuine brushes. Yeah, the traditional brushes. I mean, the other are also genuine, but I mean the more versions. So I need a water bucket. I can't do that while I'm laying on my couch. So have to sit, and that didn't work. And I always had like one whip on stream and one off stream. And I just realized that doesn't work anymore for me because I need multiple books so that when I'm not feeling well, I can lie down on the couch and, for example, do a page where I'm only using colored pencils or colored pencils in combination with gel pens or markers or something, what I can easily use while I'm laying down. And also maybe pages that are a little bit more simple, where I don't have to concentrate that much when I'm feeling that unwell, so that it is a little bit easier. So that was the point that I said, okay, I need multiple books. And also I realized that I am using my my oil pastels nearly never, just because the problem always is that when I say, oh, here I could use oil pastels, then I have to base layer first with my gesso, and that of course needs drying time, and then yeah, it's the next day, so you can't do it spontaneously. So I thought, okay, why not base layer multiple pages already, so that I can then, when I say, oh no, I want to do something with oil pastels, I could work on those backgrounds. So yeah, that was the point that I said, okay, now multiples. Then that's also important for this one, because this one I bought secondhand. There were 2 pages that were colored in partially already with colored pencils. So there are 2 pages, like I said. The first I haven't worked on that one, but I thought it is a good test. Those are good test pages. The other had water like this, where a lot of high pressure colored pencil coloring is in it. So I erased it as good as possible. Of course, it only lightens it. You can't erase it completely. So I thought, what can I do here? You can see that it is very visible. I thought, okay, if you are working over it with colored pencils, maybe you won't see it that strongly, but of course that will make it harder, and I wasn't sure how good the paper will let it work over it. So I thought, I originally bought my gesso because I heard a lot of colorists doing gesso underneath watercolor. And I tried it with the gesso, but at least the gesso that I have, it was absolutely terrible. It was smeary and smudgy, and I always had the feeling like, even after multiple days of drying, that if you're putting the watercolor on it, it like reactivates a little bit and makes the watercolor, gives it a slimy feeling. So it looked terrible in the end, like I would let a 3-year-old loose with watercolors in the lowest quality on the page. That's what it looked like. So that was the point where the gesso then was unused, because that was the reason I originally bought it. Then I realized last year I could maybe use it as an underpaint for the gesso. So that's what I am doing now. But I have seen on Maya's channel that she is using the satin glazing liquid from Golden for her under oil pastels, but also for underneath watercolors and for sealing oil pastels. So I thought, okay, buy a satin glazing liquid. Then I didn't realize, because it was a little bit hidden, that probably the page had originally the satin and the gloss glazing, but the satin was out of stock, and then I got the gloss glazing liquid, and I thought, oh gosh, darn. That is absolutely perfect for sealing in the oil pastels, because you don't have this like fine sandy structure. It isn't super glossy, it just is a perfect seal in. So I'm using that for seal in the oil pastels as a varnish over it. Absolutely perfect for that. You also can work over it with the oil pastels, but of course it is basically the satin glazing liquid without the fine sandy structure feeling. So perfect for sealing in, but of course I bought then the satin glazing liquid, and I thought I need a page to try this with watercolors, because after the disaster with the cheap gesso, I thought I can't imagine that works that much better, but it does. I thought this page here is the perfect one to try it, because it was already colored in, so I thought it can't get really worse. I just can make it better if it works, otherwise I would have just called it a loss and let it be. But it works absolutely well. The clothing of Mickey and Minnie was originally colored in. The red was colored in with a pink. You can still see a little bit of the pink in the dots. Um, so yeah, I just based the whole page with the satin glazing liquid and gone over it here with Daniel Smith watercolors, and then I will go over that one with colored pencils. And when I'm done with it, I don't think you will be able to see that this page already was colored in. So yeah, that's definitely a very great way to work over pages like that. I do have a few second-hand books where I have pages that are colored in, and like some of them are really hardcore colored in, not in a good way. So I mean that's thicker paper. Some of them are all very thin, like Amazon paper, but I heard that it works well with watercolor and thinner pages with the satin glazing liquid, because it's like a base where it can't bleed through. So I thought I will try it on those pages as well. But I just wanted to share that because if you do have second hand books with colored in pages, that is definitely a way where you can do the page completely without seeing what the person before you did. So yeah, I was so surprised that it worked that well, and I'm super happy with how it works, the satin glazing liquid with the watercolors, because I think that that really will help me so much when doing bigger backgrounds. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, super, super surprised about that. Thanks to Maya for that. I'm super grateful because it will save me a lot, especially with bigger background areas. Yeah, really, really good to know that. I will, when my gloss glazing liquid is empty, definitely rebuy it, because I prefer that as the one that seals the oil pastel in, because even if it's a super, super fine grain on the satin glazing liquid, you still have it. And if you have other colored pages or a second page that can be colored in, I'm not sure over the long term if that rubs, if it will damage the paper. So I definitely will do the gloss glazing liquid as a seal in. You will see it in a few minutes because I have a lot of whips now started with oil pastels. It is not, in the beginning I was anxious if it is super heavy glossy, but it isn't. So yeah, just that you know, really works well. So that's one of the Thomas Kinkade Dream Disney collection. Basically those are, I have two of those, and that are my only Disney books. I'm not a big Disney colorist, but here the artwork is, yeah, really, really gorgeous. So, first of the whip pages I have. Yeah, also the biggest problem here is I also, first when I did inform myself, I watched videos from Maya, and I saw she uses the Mangyo oil pastels, and then I bought Mangyo oil pastels. But I didn't realize that she has the soft oil pastels, so that there are oil pastels and soft oil pastels. I bought the oil pastels, and those are, I can't recommend, those are more like wax crayon for kids. It's really hard to smudge them. That's also the reason why on my first trials I had so much problems, because on normal paper it is too smooth, doesn't work well with those. If you have more structured paper like a watercolor paper, those work a lot better. So base layering it with the satin glazing liquid or the gesso. The gesso has a thicker sand structure than the setting glazing liquid. Those work a lot better. Still not good, but better. So I try to use this set up because I do have another set bought after the disaster with a soft oil pastels, but I want to use this one up before. So yeah, just wanted to let you know. I started this double page here with the horse, and here this side is already done. Definitely, I have, like I said, multiple pages base layered with the gesso and the setting glazing liquid for watercolors, but that will be the only one where I won't do it again with so many areas in between. It just didn't work with the oil pastels. So I had to use cheap acrylic marker here in between. I first tried it with colored pencils, but the colored pencils and the oil pastels didn't blend, just because mine are so much harder. I've seen other colorists working with colored pencils and their oil pastels, but they all have soft oil pastels. Just doesn't work with mine. You can also see it is still, after 2 layers, streaky. You see it. You have a lot of different structures here going on, just because some areas you have a lot of the wax and some areas don't have a lot of the color, and it smudges not that easily, even with the gesso underneath. So that's the reason why definitely can't recommend those harder oil pastels. Yeah, so basically I tried to use sorry, my brain is really bad today, the acrylic marker, and to blend it with a little bit with the oil pastels. And you can see that the lines between the colors are very harsh, because those also doesn't blend well. I mean, that's basically the big plus of soft oil pastels, is that the colors blend so well from one to another. These don't do that. So I'm really happy that I only bought a smaller set and not a big set, because it would be much harder to use those up. I hadn't, because I only have 2 small sets of acrylic markers, I don't had a good fit for this one, so here the color is different, but at least here I tried to smudge the acrylic marker with my finger, and I also tried to blend some areas here over where the oil pastels with acrylic marker, and a little bit of smudging, where areas where the oil pastels didn't stick well to the paper and it was too light. So I tried to get the holes colored. The other page has still just 1 layer. You can see I did use the purple. I didn't like it, so I changed it here to a blue. We'll do the same here, but I will have to do the second layer. Definitely, if you have a more clearer, easier borders, that works a lot better with oil pastels. So, like I said, I won't do that again. But yeah, with clearer lines like that, that works a lot better. But you can see here how streaky and yeah, like basically it looks like my little toddler niece would have done this. So it's just because those are so hard and just not good for papers like that, even with the gesso. Yeah, we'll work over this so that it gets that look. And then this one is done with the background at least. And here I did have a WIP started, I think last year already, and I totally forgot that I have it. Also with gesso and those hard oil pastels. It's the title page, and I base layered now this here to do oil pastels here as well, because I thought if I can cover up the writing here, you could do the page and maybe in the end it looks like a normal page somewhere in the book. If I can really cover it completely, probably will have to use the soft oil pastels in combination so that it works better, because of those doesn't stick so well. You can still see a little bit even after 3 layers. So I thought I will take a look at my softer oil pastels and search for a burnt sienna color and go over here another time. But yeah, it's you can see it's the gloss from the gloss glazing liquid is a little bit glossy, but not extremely. Really like this as a seal in more. So yeah, that is the Mythic World title page WIP. Then I have a WIP in this one. This one I've bought in a dollar store in Germany, or better said a euro store. It costs 2 or 3 euros and has 80 pages. It's a hardcover coloring book, and it is on watercolor paper with 200 GSM. Can you imagine that for that price? It's so cheap. That's why I said even if there are a lot of motifs in it that I don't fit in my personal taste, it's still a watercoloring book, and I could do some easier pages here maybe. So yeah. Funny thing, it has the same watercolor paper as the Googly coloring books. So I started one page here, and if you're looking, you have a lot of these doodly stuff here going on. There are a few pages in here that are really, really gorgeous, like those houses. There's a castle, but that's my absolute favorite. It looks like a double page spread. The Female Knight, it looks like it could be a castle, or also like this one here, it looks like a chapel or so, but it's not. You can see it on the lines. It's not a double page spread, but I always say it looks like it. So it's so amazing. It's my favorite page in here, but yeah, there are a few pages really cool. You have a lot of these doodly. I love the castle here. Those are things I don't like. If I have animals, I prefer it without these pattern things. So normally I don't buy books like that. But like I said, exception because it's watercolor, and watercolor is just my absolute favorite. So I started this. I thought it is an easier, faster page because the flowers are so big, but there are so much petals. It took me ages, and I have like 3-4 layers going on, and I still have to do the dark red layers and the layers in the end for the shadow with a purple, and in the end the envelope. But yeah, it will take a while until I have it finished. And at the moment I'm thinking, you can tell me if you want your personal opinion, if I put it on hold for May so that I can working on the mermaid watercolor page. I have started this last year in Mermaid, and my plan for this year was originally to finish this. I would have started in like March so that I have enough time to finish it in May. But then the problem was, like I said, my health has gotten so bad that I did like one page in February and one in March. I just didn't have the time or the good health days to work on this one. So I'm thinking about, do I say I put it another year on hold and work next year on it? Do I say I work now on it and finish it next year, or finish it just not in May and then in another month? I'm so unsure. So if you have your opinion to that, let me know. This basically just has the base layer on the lotus leaves and this kimono styled jacket thingy she has on. I just did a second layer on the very dark areas. That's it. So I mean, it is not that super detailed. It will definitely be faster than other pages, but it is still a double page spread, and there are still multiple smaller areas. It will take a while, so it is not a fast thing to do. So yeah, both are worked on with Daniel Smith and White Nights watercolors, because I still have the little set I want to empty out completely. And it's still not empty, even if I started using it in January 23. So over 2 years now, and with the 1/8 pans, and it's still not empty. So another whip, that's the Lost Ocean book. I do only have two books of her as the English version, and I highly recommend buying the German version because the paper quality is so much better than in the English versions. Here I have the oil pastel finished, and here was in the outskirts here with the little nooks. I know with the soft oil pastels that you normally can use like a cotton web or so and smudge it into the corners. It doesn't work with these harder ones. That's the reason why I tried with the colored pencils, but those doesn't blend well into each other, and you basically rub off the harder oil pastels completely with the colored pencils. So here I also used that's the first, I did this first to the horse. So I did use the acrylic marker and just smudged it over it, and it worked here a lot better. And yeah, here, like I said, it's a lot easier because we have much more clearer edge to the areas where we don't want to work with the oil pastels. So pages like that will be a lot easier. Like for example, maybe here the fish background or the whale. Those will be a lot better to do with the backgrounds with oil pastels than the horse. So yeah, those are also done with the oil pastels. Then this one, I will show it shortly because I've already showed it in my mermaid video. And this is the page I already started for mermaid. It's the fish hairband and Nigerian tail. So yeah, another opportunity to work on getting my coloration for dark skin better. Dark skin is so much harder to draw or color. So that's why I often shy away from it, but I said I want to get better with it. So I have this whip going on, and I have another page done this form from April, where I did do a darker skin. So yeah, these are hopefully getting finished this month. So then I have one last WIP, but it's an own art WIP. They're momentarily on stream project from Mondays, where I do my own art. The House of the Dragon fan art with Rhaenyra in the younger version. Also working with White Knights and the Daniel Smith watercolors on this one. That's a 100% cotton paper. That's our project at the moment. And I have 2 pages from, I think it was March, own art pages, which were also on stream projects. That's cellulose paper, also with the Daniel Smith and White Knights watercolors. This is Kofka. That's a character from a manga and anime series Noragami, and she's the goddess of poverty and bad luck. And I am especially happy about the lips because the blending is so soft on the edges. That's something I really struggle with watercolors and lips, so I'm happy that it worked so well here. And I have another page in my Mossery sketchbook, which is also 100% cotton paper, which we also done on stream, and those are the crystals. We did the crystal page, and I'm super happy how those turned out. I think they look really gorgeous. And also with the Daniel Smith and the White Knights watercolors, I absolutely love to do drawing and coloring crystals. So yeah, this is all the own art stuff. Now to the finished pages. This one is from February. This was my one page from February. That's why it is a wintry page. I've done the little soldier, and I've used semi-art watercolors for the base layer ring. I've used Bird Funa colored pencils. I do have the 260 set. I used white gel pen from Sakura to redraw the little snow thingies here, just because some of them were so small that I watercolored them, and also used the Derwent Color Soft in white for the light areas here in the hair. I only have like 3 colors also from the Derwent Color Soft, and the my stump of the white is like 15 years old or so, still from Copic times. So yeah, happy especially with the hair. Really like how the hair turned out. I think they look very good. I did translate this one here because I was interested what it was saying, and it basically is an old poem which was written in the past from a soldier which worked on the border as a border patrol soldier. And this is basically the end of the poem that he has written when he was done with his work and gone home to his family, which lived more in the middle of the country, which I found very interesting. That's why I written down what it says, or what it is, not what it says. But yeah, this is the little soldier. Then another wintry page, which I finished this month, but started, I think, in February. Nature Mandalas by Mepomeni Hatzipanagiotou. That's at least what's the internet said, how to pronounce it correctly. Still will probably have budgeted a little bit because, of course, I can't speak Greek, but yeah, if you do know how to even better spell it, then let me know. It's basically the first completed page in this book. I just did a little stump here on the back, and it's basically the first ever Melpomene page I have done. This was the first one I started with only colored pencils. Normally on pages like that with thicker paper I would do watercolor underneath, but this was the first I tried when I don't feel well, where just simple coloring, because I thought all the leaves and the areas in between, it's not that hard to concentrate on. So I started with this, and I used the Obos colored watercolor coloring pencils. I haven't activated it with water, just as a normal colored pencil. Also, I used, just have to look in my book. I used also Guangna gel pens, super golden markers, hybrid dual metallic gel pens for all the shiny, silvery and glittery areas here. Okay, see a little bit, that's a little bit glittery as well. The camera doesn't show it, so that's more like a silver metallic, and those are more silver glittery and black and silver glittery. Also, I used the Sakura Glaze gel pen in clear for the icicles here, in those 4 little portrait thingies, to give it a glossy see-through look. Done 2 layers to get it that glossy. First layer didn't work, as only that. I had to do a second one, but yeah, in the end I think it is okay how it looks. So then I've done a page in Qing Palace Garden, gorgeous book. And here's the other thing, that in this book we did my first ever try with oil pastels, and I had the problem, and that was 2 things. I thought in the end just go over everything with the gloss glazing liquid, and I did realize not go over that with when you used somewhere watercolors, because you can easily see here it's smudged completely. Also, I didn't use a gesso or satin glazing liquid here underneath. That's why it looks that patchy. You can see, because those, like I said, those are so hard. Yeah, doesn't look very nice. So that is the problem. But also, if you don't do a base layer with some colors like dark blues or pinks, funnily, those are the 2 problematic colors. Also with some colored pencils, you get like a ghosting or bleed through to the other side. I mean, this is more like a little image, and it's not that bad. You still could do something over it, but I will, even if the paper is good, I will in the future at least do a satin glazing liquid underneath, so I won't have the problem of the ghosting or bleed through from the oil pastels. I think because probably of the high oil content on oil pastels, that it sips a little bit deeper or through the paper. Like I said, I do had it in the past also with colored pencils. I have a few examples here in the Hannah Carlson book. Here, this one, I did use my cheap old colored pencils from my childhood here, and the pink, you can see here, that I have some areas where you can see the pink. So that happened with colored pencils as well. I mean, it's not that bad that you can't overwork it, but it is always annoying when it happens. And I had the same problem with the dark blue, funnily. Also, my old childhood colored pencils on this page and on this page. And you can see I have a similar ghosting here with the blue going on. So, I mean, colored pencils are also done with oil and wax, so I think maybe it's the oil in combination with certain pigments that are the problem. So that is the page I have done in March, and I used for that metallic watercolors from Magic Fly and Giorgione, and this white gel pen from Sakura for some highlights like in the eyes. Yeah, the metallic watercolor is really beautiful, very shiny. I did do realize that they have done a printing error here. You don't have these stripes on the other side. You don't have the white and the gold outer area here on the upper side of this side. I did realize it sadly after I colored it already. If I would have seen it prior to starting the coloring, I would have just drawn it in with a thin pencil line. But yeah, for all the coloring, I used my new Caran d'Ache Luminance, which were gifted to me from my husband to my birthday this year, because yeah, I got 40, so a big birthday. So yeah, I only did one mistake, which was a little bit annoying, because I have these soap holders I use as a brush rests and also as a pencil rest, which are absolutely wonderful. They are working really, really well. I can show you. I have multiples of them. Yeah, you can put in your pencils and they don't roll off, or your brushes and they don't roll off your table. I have them of different stones and one out of wood. So yeah, absolutely must have gadget for me. And I normally, if I work on one area, I put all the pencils in this, and then just grab them, because I put them in order. I did one mistake here, and that's why it is just a little bit dark here and a lot of the light, because I did switch a dark and this color, so I had to not use the darker color, because it would have meant that I will go darker and lighter again, which is problematic. So yeah, that was this. I was a little bit annoyed with myself, but at least it's only the background. I think she got very beautiful. I like how the hair turned out, and I also like how I did color the pelt, the fur. I think that looks very nice like that. So that's this page here. So that's that. Then a page we have done on stream, To the Ends of the Earth and Back Again, from Good Vibes and Warriors. We've done the first page in this book in 2024 in the beginning. This was this page. And normally I thought doing like 2 pages a year on stream, but because I want to color the whole book as a big on-stream project, 2 or more pages. But then I had the problem, I wanted to do a page in summer, but the next page has some ice and snow, and I'm not a person who likes to color ice and snow in summer because it's just such a short time in the year where it's hot in Germany. I hate winter and cold, and the most of the year it's more cold, and I don't like to color cold in summer. I want to enjoy it. So that's why I postponed it to winter, and I thought it is a perfect page. We have this winter island here going on, and then here it looks like the start of spring, and yeah, it was just perfect for this time in the year. We used semi-art watercolors for the base layer, the Magic Fly gold metallic watercolor for the stars. It's the same we used on the other side. And all the other things are colored with like the first page, because I wanted to use the same pencil so that it looks the same. It is completely colored with my old colored pencils from my childhood. We just had to use some additional colors from the Obos watercolor color pencils, not reactivated it with water, just use it as a normal color pencil. Yeah, because some colors are just not there anymore. If I only use the old ones, then I have the problem that some colors are just missing and it doesn't work well like that. But yeah, I think it looks quite nice. I think that the first page looks better, but that's basically more because we have a little bit more, I don't know, I enjoy here the purple pink area a lot. Yeah, still think that turned out quite nicely. So that's the second page. Next will be with the pyramids. Those are, there are 3 books in this series. The other 2 books have another artist. This here is basically like a travel through the world. We do have things and animals from all over the place, like we have a Maori stingray here, we do have Chinese dragons, Persian tree of lives, Egyptian pyramids, stuff like that. The other one is the ocean book, where you start on like an oil platform and go to the deep sea, and then we have the To the Moon book, where we start on Earth and go to the moon, which the concepts are really great. It is basically one big image. So that's why I start from page 1 to the last page. And for those who thought I didn't color the background, the thing is, it is already colored in with a light blue, and the more you turn the pages, the darker it gets, and we have the same going on the other books as well. So that's also nice that you have the very full pages, but you don't have to think about the background. This is also mentioned as the longest coloring book in the world with 17 feet. It's something like 5 meters and 5 meter 20, 5 meter 40, something like that. Over a year ago, I did use a calculator for that, but I didn't memorize it completely, but something about 5 meters. I think this one is longer than the other 2s, but they are like 16 feet or so. It's very similar, or 15 feet. So yeah, that's this book. Then I have 2 pages done in Mein Frühlingsspaziergang from Rita Beermann. I at least try to do like 1 page per season in those season books. That's the spring book. This was the, I think, least colored in, because I think I have only done one page in this before, and I did two this in April. And those were basically also pages I've done mostly on days I didn't feel very well. I did start this page here with White Nights watercolors. That's the light blue here. But then I did all the metallic coloring here with the Super Golden Marker, basically while lying on the couch and not feeling good. And of course it wouldn't have worked with the watercolors for the in-between. So I did buy in Lidl a set of 6 water marker brush pens, because of course these are double-sided prints. I won't use alcohol markers on it. Those were 6 pastel colors. And I thought this is good for pages like that, way when you need a light color. So basically the orange, the purple, the yellow, and the pink, and also the light blue here, just not the light blue here, are done with those. There's, like I said, 6 colors, so there's a green as well, and I think those are all colors, and the pink, yeah, pink I've used also here. Yeah, those worked of course perfectly for me while on bed rest or couch rest in that case. So that was the page done like that, and I did basically do the other page here exactly like that. Just not only the Super Golden markers, I also used the Hybrid Dual metallic gel pens. I absolutely love those. Those are glittery, and the Super Golden markers are more like the metallic shiny ones, and the glittery ones are the dual metallic ones. So yeah, basically I do like how the page turned out. I also used these big water brush markers for basically everything else, and a little bit of pastel chalk for the background, which I always spray with a fixative so it doesn't smudge on the other side or some all over the place. This I did last year, and when I compare it, I much more prefer doing it in this combination of metallics and normal colors than to just normal colors. It looks totally boring. So yeah, I think that turned out quite nicely. So 2 more pages to go, then we are done. I did get the Tokimeko books this year from my husband. No, last year to Christmas. Was my Christmas gift. And I haven't colored in one of them so far. This is basically the first page, not only in this book, but all the Tokimeko books I have. So I thought I will have to do a page. Also, I want to do more pages in the next time. I did set my goal this year, my coloring goal, to do more pages in books that aren't colored in so far. So that's my goal for this year. Not that I work heavily on it or only use books I haven't colored in, but I at least want to get started in a lot of new books, and I think that is definitely something that worked, because I do have multiple books this year where I haven't colored in so far and started, like the Mermaid book from Martin Noble, the cheap dollar shop watercolor book, the Tokimeko book. The next page after that is also a book I haven't colored in. The the Chibi book with the little soldier was a book that was also untouched. So I did do this, which I also had in my planning video. It is a double page spread, but I think it is one where you can easily say that you only color in one of this. You may have seen this also from my shorts, like the Quinn Palace Garden. I do have some shorts about those. And this is a German tradition. I don't know if and other countries do it as well, but in spring it's always, we call it spring cleaning. It's a tradition to basically clean everything in your house in spring. And yeah, the little bears doing cleaning work, like cleaning the windows, the floor, dusting, and sweeping with the mop or the broom. It's such a spring cleaning thing, so I thought it's a perfect different kind of spring coloring, not just flowers, but doing some different spring related things. Normally you have like flowers and Easter, but yeah, I thought it's such a cute idea. So I did the little bears. I've used semi-art watercolor for the base layer, the 260 set of the Brut Funers. I did use the colorless blender pencil from Caran d'Ache for the white tiles as a blender. And I did use the same no-name acrylic marker for the background here. And the dark green here from the border is the ArtX acrylic marker. I did buy those dual pen markers I've seen also on Maya's channel, because yeah, you have the brush pen, that's what I used here, but the reason why I bought that especially, I just don't have a dark green in the other one, so that's why I used it. Those have the other tip is a very small fine tip, more like a fine felt pen or fine liner thing. Maya uses it a lot for redrawing or overdrawing the lines. And I thought that is such a cool and beautiful idea, so that's why I basically bought the acrylic marker set last year. I haven't used it for that reason. I really have to do that. I mean, that's why I bought it, but yeah, that's basically everything I used on this page. Very easy, simple, and a very fast page, to be honest, because there isn't a lot of things to do. I think the most time I've spent on the wood structure. But yeah, at least I have finally started in the Tokimeko books. Really want to do more in this and the others. They are so cute. So, and finally the last page and my first ever Christine Karin page I have done in Characters Through Worlds and Times. She has the Wildflower Folk, which is a very good paper quality, and she has these books which you always have the opportunity to buy the grayscale or the line art. I prefer line art. I'm not a big fan of grayscale, but yeah, the reason I wanted exactly that book is because on the grayscale one we have the Egyptian motif on it, and I found it so beautiful that I said, okay, and I love old Egyptian, so she looks a little bit like Cleopatra. That's basically why I wanted to buy this. And when I got this, I realized that at least part, I don't know if all of the images in Wildflower Folk are basically a compilation of her other books, but I realized that The Little Mermaid is in this book, is also in the Wildflower Folk. So if someone knows if it's a complete compilation book or just a few images and a lot of new images in it, let me know please in the comments, because that's basically why I haven't bought so far other books from her, from this paper quality, because I didn't know how much of the images I would already have with the better quality book. And I'm really, really excited for the new book. And I just heard on Alena's channel that we not only get the one in summer, but we get 2 new books from her. So I hope the third book will also be on the same paper quality than the other ones. But yeah, that's basically after I did the Easter coloring in Mein Frühlingsspaziergang. That was basically my page I did when I did Feeling Well. And I did her, the Garden Friends page with also pastel chalk for the background. Like I said, I always fix those in. Then I've used the 260 set of the Brutfuner colored pencils, and also I do have the set of 12 pastel colored pencils from Brutfuner, which I used, for example, for the light yellow here. Yeah. And yeah, that's basically the other one where I tried with the dark skin. Like I said, it's not perfect. I'm still learning how to do dark skin, but I think for beginner steps with dark skin, it doesn't look that bad. I think it turned out quite okay for, like I said, baby steps. So yeah, really like how this one turned out. It's the first page in this book as well. My first ever Christian Karen page, like I said. So happy that I have this one started now as well. And yeah, really I do love that there are not only this, where is it, not only, yeah, she is the next page. This was basically the one why I wanted this book so badly. Not that the other pages aren't beautiful, but like I said, that totally. But then I realized we do have Native Americans in here as well. And native tribes, doesn't matter which area of the world, they are hardly underrepresented in coloring books. So I absolutely do love books that include. I'm super interested in culture from all over the world. So I'm also interested in native tribes, and yeah, I'm so interested in learning other cultures, and I'm super enjoying coloring motifs like that. So I'm always happy to see books where you have something like that. That's why I also absolutely love the goddess coloring books, or books like the Mermaid book from Martin Noble, where you have really a lot of different tales, myth, gods and goddesses from all different cultures, not only the standard. I mean, I do love antique Greek, absolutely love it. Greek mythology is one of my absolute favorites, but there are so many interesting mythologies all over the world, and I really love when books not only contain like one mythology but multiples, and also those from native tribes. That's I'm super interested and super enjoying. So yeah, sorry for all the rambling. But yeah, those are all my finished pages and all my current WIPs. All the finished pages, not only for now April, but also March and February. And my, like I said, my WIPs that I'm working on. Thank you so much for watching this very long video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. And yeah, I think that's probably one of my favorite page this month. Yeah, as always, a thumbs up or a follow is very much appreciated. It really helps me in the channel so much. Thank you for that, as well as for watching. And I hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. I'm working very hard whenever I'm feeling well and getting finally more videos again on the channel. I have like, I'm working currently on the How to Mix series. I'm basically done the videos for the one missing forest color from the Schmincke Supergranulating ones. I basically did all of the videos, the filming part. I still have to do the voiceover. I will have to do the rendering and so on, but the filming part I've done for all the desert colors and all the volcano colors except for one. And I have done like already two colors from White Nights from their supergranulating watercolors. But there are so many other brands. So if you have a brand which you would prefer we are doing after Schmincke, let me know in the comments, because I'm not I haven't decided which one. Even if I have already filmed two White Nights one, doesn't mean we have to do that one as the next one. So if you have some that you would prefer more, let me know. I think I will make a poll for that as well, but if you want to tell me in the comments, then I'm also happy to read that. So yeah, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and to see you soon in one of my other videos. Take good care of yourself, and bye bye.